everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hanging out here in the bar, and I picked this up the other day, and I figured might as well get a review done of it, and breaking my own rule. So this is actually going to be a fresh crack. So I pulled the plastic off the bottle already, but I'm going to go ahead and pop this one here and do a quick review off the initial neck pour, which is something I don't normally do, but this is something I did. I believe I had a sample of last year's release of this, and actually went into my local store here in West Virginia, was absolutely shocked that they actually had this on the counter. Now, a little bit higher than the Virginia ABC, maybe by $5, but I haven't seen it in Virginia yet, or if it showed up in Virginia, it's gone. So was happy to grab this the other day. And what I'm talking about, this is the A126 batch of the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Rye. So this monster is 11 years, 11 months, and it's 120.4 proof. Now, Elijah Craig has a mash bill. Make sure I'm not going to screw this up. So it's a barely legal rye. It's 51% rye, 35% corn, and 14% malted barley. So technically, to be a rye, you got to be at least 51%. So barely legal rye. I don't know. The ryes that I really enjoy, and it's kind of crazy, are the 95.5 MGPs that are higher aged, where I get more of that, I don't know, definitely get burnt sugars and caramel, and kind of like that date raisin note that you get in some rye whiskey. But this one here is the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Rye A126. So, okay, let me pop this bad boy. Okay, not a exciting pop, but get a little bit of this here in the Glen, and let's see what we get. So I'm going to try to stick that here so we at least know what the hell I'm talking about if you tune into the video and you kind of see it. So this here is, like I try to do every time when I'm sipping on a whiskey, and at least reviewing it and trying some, even with my samples, is I kind of try to roll around the glass a little bit. Down here in the basement, it's kind of cool, so sometimes I'll, try to warm it in your hand and everything like that. Most of the time when I'm doing these here, kind of pour something in a Glen and let it sit for a little bit, right? And then try to do a review that way, or at least when I'm first trying something. But kind of just doing what I was doing there, rolling this around on the side in my hand. This has some awesome viscosity to it. So there's a nice ring around the top of the glass, and you could see the legs just thick, rolling down. Now, it's not super viscous, but it's pretty viscous. It's got a nice light copper color to it, I guess. So let's see what Elijah Craig is doing. Now, I'm a huge Elijah Craig fan. I am a fan of the barrel proofs, bourbons. I do like them. I tend now to gravitate towards the single barrel picks from Elijah Craig. Some of those I think are better than some of the barrel proofs. But I think what Elijah Craig should do is go to 2 releases a year. Do a and then maybe a B. Kind of A mid, kind of maybe this time of year, and then a B sometime in fall. I think that would be a lot better than trying to do 3 releases of the barrel proofs. Maybe same thing on the Larceny. Do 2 releases a year. You know what I mean? I think the 3 releases, we get a little fatigued, right? About that kind of stuff. Plus, look at Booker's. They got 4 releases a year, and I know those just sit on the shelves in most stores around me. So I'm not sure if that's the same near you. Maybe leave me a comment. Let me know if you're seeing that as well. So I'm kind of stalling a little bit, letting this air out, seeing it's the neck pour and everything like that. So on the nose, get like a sweet. It is a grassy note, and That's not my favorite thing when I'm sipping on a rye, but I'm hoping that on the palate that doesn't transfer through. But on the nose, I mean, it's a little muted. It's only 120 proof. And again, I'm not a rye person. I appreciate ryes. I enjoy drinking ryes, but for me, I am a bourbon person through and through. So I'm not the rye person to go to, but I do have a lot of ryes in my collection. And again, I gravitate to those more darker, richer ryes that are either 100% rye or are 95.5 type of a mash bill, or a higher percentage of rye. Okay, not getting a whole. It's kind of upsetting here. Not getting a whole lot on the nose. And other than a little bit of little mintiness and some like grassy note, but there's not maybe a little citrus in there. All right, let's go in for a sip, and then I'll go back to the nose and see if it changes. Cheers, everybody. Okay, so the nose does not gravitate towards the palate. This has some nice baking spice in there, some nice, definitely more citrus forward, but then a creaminess, almost like a orange, zesty, I don't know, you get some of that, sometimes you get that, what is that popsicle that you get with the orange on the outside and then the vanilla on the inside? Maybe a little bit of that on the finish. At least that's what's kind of coming to my mind. And you had to eat those things fast, otherwise they melted and then they were terrible. So now in the nose, a little bit more of that citrus is coming through. Okay. Not much. It's very, very muted on the nose. All right, let's go in for a second sip on the palate. Okay, so definitely you get the rye spice in there, a little bit of pepperiness, tingling all over your tongue, and then as it transitions to the back end of the palate, that citrus and kind of cream, I guess a creamsicle type of a note that I'm getting, and then it kind of slowly fades away. Now there's a little bit of that rye spice in the back end still kind of lingering there and everything like that. I mean, if you're an Elijah Craig fan and you're a rye fan, this is something, yeah, maybe you should go after. But I mean, I'm happy to have it. I'm going to enjoy it. I probably sample it out to a few people. Maybe it'll be part of my my show. Oh yeah, and speaking of my show, guess what? I do a show every Saturday night. So come hang out. I will have a link in all my videos going forward to Google form sign up sheet where you can go ahead and sign up for participation on the show, either participating in the Beyond the Shelf or participating in the Sharing Pours with Friends segments, whichever one you feel like you want to do, or you can do both. more than happy to have you on and discuss a little bit about your bourbon adventure, where you're at, what got you started, what's your selections like, what do you have on the shelf, what's your most prized bottle, what's your least favorite bottle, and go from there. So sign up, join the show, have some fun on Saturdays. Okay. I mean, not honeyness on here. It's definitely very citrus forward, is what I'm getting, and rye spice pepperiness. The grassy note is kind of faded away. Mm. Wow. Okay. Hey, great job, Elijah Craig. Looking forward to it. You know, if I see a B batch or a C batch, I'm not sure how it's going to come out. We'll see what happens, but maybe something I will chase depending on stats and everything like that. I think this has been getting some pretty decent reviews by, say, other people that know a lot more than I do. But hey, you know, I'm just here to entertain, have a little fun, sip on some whiskey, right? That's all what it's all about. So, as and always, this is the West Virginia Bourbon Guy. Remind you that pours are always best when they're shared with friends. Cheers, everybody. Okay. Well done, Elijah Craig.